You are now tuning in to Kickspot with Jinu Park and Migs.
What's going on, everyone? We just want to bring to you a brand new, different type of show today.
Brand new.
I'm excited. If you don't know who I am, I'm one of your co-hosts, Jinu Park. And you've also got my partner, Migs, in the building. Migs in the building here. And if you can see the aesthetics, Migs, it's changed a little bit.
Yes, it has.
I want to say we spice things up from a literal sense.
Yeah.
And so a couple weeks ago, we had a Kickspot episode where you got to interview me and about my life.
Yep.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to flip the script, and I wanted the audience members to get to know you, but with a little twist.
Oh, man.
So as you can see, I've put some spices right up here in the front.
Yeah, I'm scared. I just want to
And I just want to show the audience the chicken. So I mean, it is chicken. You do love chicken, so everybody knows that. So, but you do not like spices.
It's not that I don't like spices. It's just that my stomach is very sensitive to spice, and I don't know how this is gonna turn out the rest of the week for me.
So, what happens to you when you eat spicy food? I mean, what's your level of spice?
I mean, I can do spicy, but it's just that.
I just never really see you.
But when I
stuff in.
do spicy, like, you start laughing because I either start sweating right away, and you're like, dude, this is not even spicy. And I'm like, dude, it is, dude. And like, I'm sweating. I'm like profusely, like, profusely trying to figure out how to, deal with my life at that point.
Well, the good thing is that we do have boba on staff.
Yeah, I need that milk
with
tea.
that milk in there for you to
Sponsored
ease
by
the
Boba
pain.
Tea.
So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to do a 3-part segment with you, like we usually do. But
Sure, dude.
Within the 3-part segment, the first 2 segments, you're gonna try 3 different chickens with the sauces.
Okay.
And then
Are we going like light, like?
Yeah.
Like
We're gonna ease you into the quote unquote pain. All right. So I'm gonna have you start off first before I start asking questions. Okay. So I'm gonna get you to. I mean, this is a pretty standard one. So I'm gonna have you grab this one right over here.
Which one?
That one.
We need napkins, dude. Can you grab napkins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a short break here. As he grabs the napkins, you better edit this. All right, so here's the chicken. Here's the chicken, and like different level of spices happening. So the first one,
The first one we got Louisiana hot sauce.
I can handle that.
I'm sure
I can
everybody
handle that.
is listening and they're like, man, that's pretty weak.
Shut up.
That's pretty weak. But like I said, we're gonna ease them in to the pain. So I'm gonna have you take your first bite there of Louisiana hot sauce with chicken wings.
Okay. This is it right here? This one? Like,
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
you
Yes.
sure?
That's the order.
Okay,
We're gonna
go.
leave it like that. Okay. So as you're eating that, there are times, actually within the past few months, there's been times that you would tell me stories, and I would be, and I would be shocked, and sometimes I didn't know if you were joking or not because there's a lot of guys. There's been a lot of times where Migs will tell me, "Hey, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. I want you to meet my cousin." That's a very Filipino thing to do, but in reality, I didn't find out that a lot of these people weren't actually his cousins. Obviously it was a phrase that he said because he's close friends with them. So sometimes when he tells me stories, I'm like, I wonder if that's true or not. And as we're looking to start a business out in the Philippines, I remember him saying, I want to take you to where I grew up, and it's like the slums. And I was like, what is he talking about? Because usually he likes to buy his like name brand stuff, and I'm like, that's just odd. So, first of all, is that true? You used to live in the slums. Like, where were you born?
I was born in Manila, August 1987.
Okay.
It was, I believe, also on a Wednesday. I think I was born in the afternoon. I was an afternoon baby. I think it was like 4:30 p.m. And we lived in Pasay City, which is in a little bit of outskirts of it's in Manila, but it's super close to the international airport,
Okay.
the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, and we lived in this one area called Baclaran. So if you're Filipino, Baclaran is pretty much like that's where like the market's at. That's where people go to shop. And I'm talking about like not farmers market. I'm talking about like a little bit like 3 levels below that kind of market, right?
Like they'd have like old fish that you don't know if it's fresh.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, and then we live in this community. It's called the barangay. Barangay is a small section of like an area. Like a small section of a city. It's like a district. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like, so barangay. So we live in this. I still memorize my address from back home. It's 53B Bias Road, San Gregorio Village, Pasay City. That's literally the exact address. Of
Does
where I
someone
used to
live there, or
Huh?
does your family member live there, or?
Yeah, like I don't know why I just have that address in my head. So
But you know who lives there now?
no, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why
Well,
I
you just called that person out.
So yeah, I did, right?
We should send him some mail randomly.
Hey, I used to live there, dude. But it's like, it's, in here when you see slumming, slumming or slums, or it really doesn't compare to how we grew up. I mean, we lived in an apartment, a 2-story apartment building. My parents were working. My dad was working for Philippine Airlines, and then my mom worked for the government. And then so my Lola, my grandma, my dad's mom, Lola Nena, she was the one taking care of us.
Well, I mean, if they worked at like, Philippines Airlines and the government, I mean, my perception of the slums isn't really the slums. Like, why would you?
I mean, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say slum, but it's compared to the living situations here.
Well, yeah.
It's really like it's crazy. So I'll tell you a story. When it would rain in where we live, right, there would be flood. I remember growing up as a kid, like our house would be flooded. Like the first floor would be flooded, and then I would just always remember my parents and my grandma would always have to put things outside and let it dry. Like that happened a lot. And then I remember when I was growing up a little bit, we play outside all the time. Like we have our neighbors, which is our friends. We literally would swim in the flood. Like that was a thing,
Now, would you see like, is it like
It was dirty.
sewer?
It was like sewery, yeah.
Like, so you could see like feces, like.
Yeah, like rats and stuff. Yeah, because we also live close to like a river, but it's like that's where you throw the trash. Like it's just like a river full of trash.
There's no like system where someone picks up your trash or anything. You just throw it
No,
there.
yeah. There's no like waste management picking up your trash every Tuesday. There's nothing like that. So that's literally where I grew up. And then so I went to school at St. Mary's Academy in Pasay. It's a Catholic school, Catholic private school. And that's where, I kind of learned how to play ball and stuff like that. I went there till 6th grade. So I was, I think, 11 or 12 before we moved here in the States. But as far as like living there, yeah, that's where we live in Manila, in Pasay.
So you have a lot of cousins that I've met here, like actual cousins. As well.
That's most of them.
So
Actually, half of them.
That's only half.
Or maybe
cousins?
like a third.
That's a lot of cousins.
Yeah, we have more.
So how many cousins do you have like in the Philippines that are in the Philippines, like when you live there versus like the ones that moved here?
This Louisiana is just already kind of kicking in, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
We're only 10 minutes in.
I know. Shut up.
In the next like few minutes, we're gonna have to upgrade
Sure.
to the next wing. But yeah. So how many cousins total do you have?
So on my mom's side, my ina and tata had I think 8 kids. So and my mom is the third oldest, and I'm the third oldest out of all the cousins there. You already met one of them, Kuya Jerome. He came here, remember? Yeah. So he's the oldest one out of all of us. I think there's like Because in here, I mean, you go to my family parties, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's insane.
How big is it?
It's
I mean,
insane.
it's big,
It's insane.
right? Like for all you Filipinos out there, like you can relate how big our parties are, all right?
Yeah, it's insane.
And so, and you know, with that, I think I have with great grandkids from my grandparents. I don't know, like maybe first cousins alone, like 40.
40?
Yeah, like reaching 40, 35 to 40.
What the?
That's like you know us, and then some of them have kids already. So those are my little nephews, right? So, but in a grandparents, you know, status, like that's my cousin. So about 30 to 40,
Dang.
35 to 40, and you only see you only see maybe a third of them in here.
That's crazy.
But we're all close. You know, so
That's crazy.
yeah,
And they all have kids right now too.
yeah.
That's insane. Do you know what the average age is in the Philippines right now?
Average age for what?
Just population, like the entire population wise, what the average
I don't
median
know.
age is?
I don't know.
It's
Do you know?
25.
Oh, okay. That's pretty young.
That's really young for a
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And then the fertility rate is like 2.5,
Oh, okay.
which is actually very, very high. So you
Okay.
guys just procreate
Yeah.
at a young age and then just keep growing.
I guess, yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the next wing here, as I asked.
Okay,
these,
what's the next swing?
next question here? But the first one is, the second one is chili pepper sauce. That's all it says, and it has a little picture from mild to hot, and the pepper is 75% red.
Are you sure you're going from like mildest to hottest, bro?
Yeah. Because I mean, it depends on what pepper this is, right? This is probably a serrano pepper. I mean, pretty small. So, as you are digging deep into the second wing here,
Okay.
I mean, the Louisiana wasn't hot.
No, it was okay. I just felt a kick.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, as you're taking the bite.
So which one is it? Is it this one? Or are we going
Oh,
here?
no, it's
It's this one?
Yeah.
It looks red.
Yeah. Color doesn't have anything to do with it.
I don't know.
So, I'm sure as you were growing up, you were saying that you were playing little games here and there. What are some street games that you would play out in the
Hold on.
Philippines?
Nah, it's not that bad. So we play a lot of marbles.
Okay, what does that mean?
Marbles, like marbles. So you've never seen a marble before?
I've seen marbles. Like,
We call it-
What do you play with marbles?
We call it Jolin, no? So there'd be like, I don't know, like you'd compete with your friend, you draw a circle and you try to like hit his marble out of the circle, you know, like something like that. That's a marble game. One of the marble games. Do you remember Pogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have that.
In the Philippines?
Yeah. That was a craze. Like we would go to the Sari Sari store, which is like a convenience store, and we'd buy Pogs. And then we would play in front of the Sari Sari store with like a Coke and barbecue at our hands. Boom, Pogs, dude, you know? Like you know how you smack it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you work over there?
Did I work what?
Did you ever work?
At a Sari Sari store?
No. In the Philippines?
No.
At a young age?
I mean, I helped my grandma's like little restaurant.
So how did you get money?
Oh, we didn't have money.
And no, how did you get money to go buy some pogs?
My parents.
They would just give it to you?
Yeah, we had an allowance, you know? It was like, I think it's like 50 pesos like per week, you know, which is $1 to convert it, you know?
Yeah.
So, back in the day, it was like 25 pesos to $1. Now it's like 50 pesos to $1.
Huh.
Yeah. But so we had that, and then we have this game called Patintero. Patintero is a game where it's kind of like it's a very strategic game. You play with like, it's like it's hard for me to explain it. So you have like people trying to. It's two teams, right? If it's your turn, you have to pass like my team. We have to draw like lines on the street.
Okay.
And then one is like on the one line and one's in the middle, and then you got to get through like that obstacle pretty much. It's like an obstacle course. So your entire team has to go through us without getting tagged. That's called Patintero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just played in the Philippines?
I mean, that's our version, right? I don't know if there other countries have other versions of it. And then we have Agawan Base. Agawan Base is pretty much capture the flag.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it's funny, when we came here, the church that me and my siblings went to in Fullerton, CCF of OC, shout out to you guys. You know, I love the fact that, you know, we met people, like we met our friends that are, you know, true heart and soul Filipinos that kept the culture, and we were playing that like during church, like after, not during church, but after church. You know, we would play I Go on Base. You know, it's pretty much like you're trying to tag the other base, and then, you know, if you tag it, you win. You know, so it's a fun game. It's funny. I think I'll suggest to my cousins the next time we all get together, we'll play it. We'll play it outside. Yeah, it's because it's super fun.
Are there any like hand games that you would play? Because I know in Korea we'd have like hand games.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
had. I forgot the like some of the hand games. But we had. What else did we play? Like the Chinese garter game.
What is that?
You know, like that white Chinese garter. Shoot, I forgot what. You've never played it before?
No, I was gonna ask you to teach me a Filipino game so we play it.
Like right now?
Yeah.
I can't really remember like any hand games.
I know some
Yeah.
Korean games that we.
Oh yeah? Okay. On the next one when it's
Yeah,
about you,
yeah.
we'll do
Yeah,
that.
we'll do
Yeah.
some Korean games.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the third wing here.
That one's not bad. That one's not bad.
This one has a picture of a tiger. It's called Tiger Sauce.
Oh, starting to get real.
Tiger Sauce.
That was more sweet. The second one was more sweet.
Yeah, look at a little sweet spice to it too.
Uh-huh.
This one just says, "Shake well before using. Try me." So,
I feel like you give me weak
we'll see. Because we are moving up. Remember, this is just the third one that we're going into. Okay, so it's that one, third one right above that second one there. Let me know if you get a little kick off of this one.
Sorry. It's a little messy, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, you said that you went to school out in the Philippines. What's the differences between going to school, or were there any differences between going to school out in the Philippines versus here?
Well, I was only there till like this 6th grade. I was very upset, by the way, at my parents
Why?
because they didn't tell us we were actually gonna stay here.
You wanted to live in the Philippines?
Mm-hmm. So, quick story. I was in 6th grade. I was gonna make the 6th grade basketball team. Like I was prepping during the 5th grade. I remember this, dude. I will always hold this against my mom and dad because I was supposed to make the basketball team, and I was gonna start, and then I was gonna come back with all my friends, right? Like we had a squad, you know. We come here. I thought we were only gonna stay here for 2 weeks in San Francisco to visit our grandparents.
Okay.
Then my mom drops the hammer. Anak, we're gonna stay here, okay? What? I was crying, dude.
So you're saying that you couldn't make the basketball team here?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Is that what you're implying?
I was obviously excited to go back home because I was gonna play with my friends, and I was very upset. My mom knows. I'm still upset.
So you weren't good enough to play here in the U.S. is what you're
best
saying.
believe. Check out my Instagram. You see the highlights. There was a highlight of you guarding me, and then I did a turnaround, and just saying.
I'm just gonna look at the camera and say there's a lot of editing involved.
Oh yeah, okay.
With Migs basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, okay.
A lot of editing. It spends an entire day editing. But so you said you only went there for a little bit, but were there any differences that you noticed between the two?
We wore uniforms. We didn't have to wear uniforms here.
So you went to like a
Private school? Catholic private school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty common though, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty common over there.
Okay.
You know. And then they taught English there, obviously. I don't really remember much. All I know is I went to school. My first school was in here, Carr Middle School in Santa Ana. We stayed a few months in San Francisco, and then we moved to Inland Empire, and then we moved to Santa Ana. My parents found a job in Santa Ana, and then that was my first school in the hood of Santa Ana. Carr. I was gonna go to Mater Dei too.
You're gonna go where?
I was gonna go to Mater Dei.
Modern day.
high school, and then we moved to South County before.
I don't know any of the colleges or the high schools
Oh, yeah.
or colleges.
Lauderdale
or
was
anything.
it's a big basketball school.
But you wouldn't have gone on the team.
I would have gone on the
regardless.
team. I would have gone on the team.
I don't even know why we're even discussing this.
Best believe, I would have gone on the team. I would have made the NBA.
Because you didn't.
At least the PBA.
You didn't. PBA?
Yeah.
The Pee Wee Basketball League?
No, Philippine Basketball Association. Shout out PBA.
Come on, man.
Sponsor us.
I'll send you his edited highlights. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So was basketball the only other sport that you played in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Like when you went to school? That's
Yeah, that was like the main sport.
You didn't play any other sports, or were there any other sports that you could have played?
No, that was like the only sport I wanted to play.
You didn't partake in your traditional martial arts?
No, I did not. Well, I did Taekwondo back home. My dad.
That's my traditional.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm saying like my dad put me in a Taekwondo class. I remember that.
He
So
said, he's like, son, I don't want you to learn the Filipino
yeah,
one.
that was tight though. I remember that. You want a
But
Taekwondo class?
You
yeah.
can learn the Taekwondo one.
Yeah, I remember that.
So no other sports at all.
No.
Did you just?
Nope.
Did you just? You didn't even eat it. Like, oh
do
my
you
gosh!
mean?
See, dude,
What do you mean? Do I supposed
dude,
to
you're
eat the
lucky
taco?
that the laptop is hiding the chicken. You gotta eat the chicken. You gotta eat the entire chicken. Come on.
The chicken is good.
Is the chicken good?
Yeah.
Is it a little spicy?
A little bit.
A little bit of a kick?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, we are going to spice things up, and we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to go into the next 3 chicken wings, and then talk about Migs' life actually migrating over to the States to see if it was any different or not, what he had to adjust to. So when we come back, hopefully in this second episode, you'll start seeing water boogers coming out of his nose.
It's not gonna happen.
And we're out.
You are listening to Kickspot.